Hello dear student, I am Rajwant Singh and today I will explain the chapter 2nd in SST, composition of our planet. So my dear students, let's start. First of all, I want to tell you about the structure of the earth, and this is very important for you. What is structure of the earth? On the basis of composition, properties of rocks and their destiny, we can say the earth is divided into three concentric layers: crust, mantle and core. These are the layers of the earth. First crust, second mantle and the third core. What is crust? The crust or lithosphere is the solid outermost layer of the earth, composed of rocks and minerals. Its average thickness varies between 8 km to 50 km. The two distinct layers which the crust comprises are the continental crust or Seol and oceanic crust or seema. The continental crust or Seol constitutes the uppermost layer of the Earth's crust. Its thickness is up to 50 km. It consists of lighter rocks rich in silica and aluminium. This layer is not continuous and is mostly found in the continental areas. The lower crust. Continental crust, sedimentary deposits, oceanic crust. These are in the lithosphere. And you can say plastic asthenosphere is also present in lithosphere. Upper mantle down to 670 km, situated in the lithosphere. The lower crust or seema is a continuous layer, forming an extremely thin ocean floors. It forms a thin ocean layer. It may range from a few meters to 10 km in thickness. The main minerals of this layer are silica and magnesium. Silica and magnesium are the most important minerals of this layer. And the next, what is mantle? The second part. The mantle or the mesosphere. We can say mesosphere to the mantle is a term used for the second layer of the earth. Mantle is the second layer of the earth. It lies beneath the crust and extends up to the core of the earth. Its average thickness is 2,900 kilometers. The mantle is made up of rocks which are far denser than those constituting the crust. The mantle consists of three layers depending on temperature and pressure conditions. It depends on the conditions of temperature and pressure. They cause the rocks to be solid or semi-solid. The temperature of the mantle is extremely high because it contains molten magma coming to the surface as lava during volcanic eruptions. Iron, magnesium, and silicon are the major constituents of the mantle. The uppermost mantle of solid rocks extends from the crust downwards to a depth of 75 km to 100 km. The middle mantle has an approximate depth of 300 kilometers and therefore in a fluid state. This layer is also called the asthenosphere. The another name of this layer is asthenosphere. In Greek, the term asthenos means to flow. The meaning of astheno is to flow. And the third layer, that is called core. The Earth's innermost layer is known as the core. This is the most inner layer. This layer has a thickness about 3500 km. It is mainly made up of heavy metals, for example, nickel and iron. This is why it is also known as NiFe, N-I-F-E. Ni means nickel, Fe means ferrous. You can say iron. The boundary separating the mantle and the core is known as Gutenberg discontinuity, named after German geographicist Benno Gutenberg, and by the name of this scientist, this is known as Gutenberg discontinuity. The temperature of the core ranges between 3000 degrees centigrade to 6000 degrees centigrade. Besides such a high temperature, the core is also subject to extremely high pressure. The metallic nature of the core lends magnetic properties to the Earth, and its temperature is too high, that I have told you already. Now, what is rocks and minerals? The Earth's crust comprises numerous types of rocks and minerals. There are many types of rocks and minerals in our environment. Rocks are natural masses of minerals found on the crust of the Earth. They consist of one or more minerals and include the hard as well as compact rocks such as granite, diamond, and loose particles like clay, mud, sand, etc. etc. Rocks may have different colors, sizes, and textures. A mineral is an inorganic substance that contains one or more elements having specific physical and chemical properties. The study of minerals is known as mineralogy. Quartz, feldspar, mica are some of the common rock forming elements. Bauxite, for instance, is an ore of aluminium. Similarly, hematite is an ore of iron. Classification of rocks. How can we classify the rocks? Based on the formation, appearance, and the type of minerals constituting them, rocks have been categorized into three major groups. First, igneous, second, sedimentary, and the third, metamorphic. Rocks categorized under each group exhibit differences in color, hardness, and density also. They have the different properties, and they have different colors, and they have different sizes. What is igneous rocks? The term igneous is derived from the Latin word ignis, which means fire. You can say fire. It signifies rocks formed by the cooling and solidification of hot lava and magma beneath the Earth's interior layer. These rocks are still taking new forms due to volcanic activity. Since they were the first to be formed, they are also referred to as primary rocks. You can say they are called as primary rocks. The lithosphere originally comprised primary or igneous rock. And the next, sedimentary rocks. We will know about this. What is sedimentary rocks? Rock fragments are carried by running water, wind, and moving ice, and are deposited in depressions underwater. By the flow of water, they deposited in the underwater. Over a period of time, these deposited materials or sediments are continuously accumulated in layers. They form a layer continuously and get compressed and hardened with the aid of cementing materials such as lime to form sedimentary rocks. Therefore, they belong to the secondary group of rocks. Before this, I have told you igneous rock, that is called primary rock, and here sedimentary rocks. We will know about secondary rocks. Based on their formation, sedimentary rocks are generally classified into three types. The largest of the sediment particles, such as sand and the pebbles, are known, or you can say it get deposited initially, while the finer sediments such as clay and salt get deposited later. Sedimentary rocks thus present a layered or stratified structure and are also known as stratified rocks. Sedimentary rocks formed in this way are the mechanically formed sedimentary rocks. For example, sandstone, shale, conglomerate, and mudstones. These are the examples of this type of sedimentary rocks. You can say these are the secondary group of rocks. Sedimentary rocks are also formed from the deposition of chemicals including salts through evaporation. Rock salt is an example of such a chemically deposited sedimentary rocks, and in many cases the skeleton remains of sea organisms and decayed plants are trapped in the sediments, and decayed plants are deposited on the seafloors. Over the years, these remains become organically formed sedimentary rock. Limestone and coal are some examples of this type of rock. Sedimentary rocks are soft compared to igneous rocks and their structure is non-crystalline. Such rocks at times also contain fossil fuels in between the layers of the sediments. So my dear students, this is enough for today, and we will meet in the next video. Thank you. Have a nice day.